36-year-old Kelley Brannon was passing through the area when she seemingly vanished into thin air. Witnesses say she was last seen walking away from a Live Oak motel with her guitar slung over her shoulder. Police say she had no ID, no money, and there's been no sign of her since. That was more than 10 months ago, and since then detectives have been chasing leads. It's an investigation that has spanned 4 states and includes work by more than a dozen law enforcement agencies. In tonight's Unsolved Florida, an in-depth look into who Kelley Brannon was and what we know about her.
Hello, my name is Kelley Brannon.
Kelley's unlike any other person I will probably ever meet in my life. Always interested in creating.
It was that spark that drew Cheryl Speak to Kelley 20 years ago in the 4th grade, and what makes it so hard now that she's gone.
Such an incredible person.
Speak says Kelley knew right away she would travel after high school, leaving their small New Hampshire town.
Gotta try to thumb down a card.
Hitchhiking her way across the country, recording it all for a documentary she was making before returning to get a college degree, eventually earning a master's in creative writing.
The 99%.
Described as a hardcore activist, friends say Kelley was at the front of the Occupy Wall Street movement, ending up in New York City for nearly 10 years, where she picked up music.
She was doing like a one-woman punk rock band, and she wanted to talk about women's rights.
I'm in Cumberland, Maryland.
Playing anywhere she could, on the street, at house parties, and in small bars, couch surfing her way to Florida. In the year before she disappeared, Kelley traversed the northern part of the state with her guitar in hand, even stopping to play here at the Bark in Tallahassee in June of 2019.
She just had a certain energy about her. Making
friends and forming a band along the way.
I met Kelley at Hardback.
Regularly taking the stage at this Gainesville bar.
The precious thing.
A pair of silver boots she left hanging in the rafters now haunts the people she's left behind.
Unreal. I mean, I don't know how to process it still.
Her missing poster now hanging inside as well. She had stayed in Florida for her boyfriend, Eddie Emerson.
She's 6 years older than me, but we fell in love, and we also argued a lot.
In an interview 6 days after she went missing, Eddie admitted they had a tumultuous relationship. Police records showed just how bad it got. He was arrested in Gainesville after giving her this black eye the day after Christmas in 2019. And while he admits they argued the night she vanished, he maintains he had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I think she jumped into a car with a dangerous person.
Detectives say he's the main person of interest, but that there are also several others.
This case goes pretty deep because there's a lot of strange things that I think went on in Live Oak, and there's a lot of unanswered questions.
Those who love the punk rock, free-spirited, kind-hearted brunette now waiting.
You want closure. You want answers.
Hoping they'll find out what happened to her soon. So what happened to Kelley Brannon? Well, we are going to explore just that tomorrow night on Unsolved Florida when I sit down with the lead investigator and the private eye hired to find her. And we'll hear her last known words, a clue perhaps as to what happened when she disappeared into the night.
Where's Kelley Brannon?
Where is Kelley Brannon?
Where is Kelley Brannon?
Where's Kelley Brannon?
Where's Kelley Brannon?
Where's Kelley Brannon?
Where's Kelley Brannon?
It is a question being asked across the nation, catching the attention of thousands of online web sleuths in chat groups, podcasts, and YouTube videos. Kelley Brannon and her boyfriend were ready to start fresh last July. They packed up their things in Micanopy, just south of Gainesville, and each in their own car headed up I-75 toward Detroit, Michigan, where they had planned to buy a home. But only a short drive into their journey, one of them had car trouble, landing them about an hour outside Tallahassee in Live Oak. That is the last place and time Kelley Brannon has been heard from. Tonight in Unsolved Florida, her own. A look at the last time we see or hear from her.
This is the kind of town you would describe as people know each other here.
It's a rural town just a short drive from the Florida-Georgia border. The last census shows a population of less than 7,000, but Police Captain Jason Roundtree says the number of cars that pass through each day can swell to 5 times that number.
Live Oak is situated at a crossroads between 2 U.S. highways, US 129 and US 90, crossing the center of downtown. We also are sandwiched between a crossroads of I-75 and I-10.
That's how the couple ended up there last July.
Driving up and my transmission burnt up an hour and a half up the road.
In an interview 1 week after she vanished, Eddie told us the story of what he says happened. While waiting for the car to be fixed, they had spent several nights camping out. But after a few days,
We said, let's just get a hotel room tonight.
Kelley and Eddie checked into a room like this one, room 70 at the Sunshine Inn, a low-cost motel off one of the main arteries into town, and quickly began to argue.
She was crying, she was miserable, she was drunk. I didn't comfort her or anything. I just took her keys off her waist. And I just said, you can't drive right now, all right?
Eddie admits to locking Kelley outside.
I just went back in the room, stupidly. I went back in the room.
Screenshots of the texts they exchanged that night show the argument went on for hours, Kelley threatening to leave.
She's texting me and calling me, and I'm answering and hanging up because it's just mean stuff. She's getting drunker and drunker. I'm just trying to sleep.
This surveillance video shows one of the last known times Kelley was seen walking through the parking lot of the Sunshine Inn, just a few hours before a final voicemail from her.
You know,
It ended like this.
oh, I'm gonna get a card now.
Those words 10 months ago, detectives say the last known from her.
That is essentially what we believe to be the last contact that Kelley physically had with anybody that we know of or have evidence.
Captain Roundtree is the lead investigator on the case and says several people at the motel reported seeing Kelley around that time walking away from it along the highway toward downtown. Her guitar slung over her shoulder, her purse, ID, and credit cards left behind. There are unverified reports that Kelley's cell phone last synced with Google about an hour after that voicemail was sent in this area, the heart of downtown and roughly only a mile from the Sunshine Inn. But since then, there has been no activity. The couple has a rocky past with domestic violence issues in Gainesville documented by court records, police reports, and 911 calls.
She's saying, please calm down, Eddie.
It was very toxic, and it just became more and more concerning for me and for a lot of her friends.
Despite their sordid past, Eddie maintains he had nothing to do with her disappearance. Did you do anything to harm her?
Absolutely not.
He says he woke up around 9:30 the next day, checked out of the hotel, and started looking for Kelley, spending the next few days doing just that.
I'm looking around town, asking everybody. Nobody's seen her. Nobody has a clue.
Eddie even drove back to Gainesville searching for her before driving home to his parents' house in Massachusetts in Kelley's car.
Eddie Emerson is a person of interest in the case.
Captain Roundtree says because of their relationship and their past, Eddie is being looked at, but he's been cooperative, undergoing an estimated 13 hours of police interviews and posting most of the missing flyers that are now fading around town. And detectives say there are several other people in Live Oak who are under suspicion. Live Oak PD has been involved in more than 15 organized ground searches using cadaver dogs and drones, while another team of investigators has also been working the case.
You guys have made touch points on most of these locations?
Yes, yes.
A pair of former law enforcement officers turned licensed private eyes hired by Kelley's friends, inviting us inside their war room at their Gainesville headquarters.
Somebody in Live Oak knows what happened to Kelley.
Telling me they looked into Eddie's past, retraced the couple's steps leading up to her disappearance, and tracked down several alleged sightings of Kelley in South Georgia in the months after she vanished.
It wasn't her.
They believe the key to what happened lies in the details of what the couple did in the days leading up to July 15th.
I don't believe it was somebody that just jumped off of I-10 and came down 129 into Live Oak and scooped Kelley up. I believe she ran across somebody that she knew or was familiar with.
While the couple waited for Eddie's car to be fixed, they made the rounds around town, visiting this restaurant, getting the vehicle fixed at this auto shop, just around the corner from that last late-night phone ping. And there are, of course, several other people who had been staying at the Sunshine Inn that night.
And that makes the case difficult.
As time drags on, friends of Kelley have seen hope halt. Initially thinking she might just be blowing off steam,
Something happened. And somebody knows something.
now fearing the worst. And Kelley's only family is her elderly mother in New Hampshire. Kelley has now missed Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day, and even her own birthday earlier this month. Her friends say Kelley's mother is just devastated, too devastated to even provide us with any statement. Anyone with any information should contact Live Oak PD at 386-362-7463. That's 362-7463. We'll be right back.